Let's talk about the Champions League because there are wins for both Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur tonight. So both sides of North London looking pretty happy with themselves, I'd say. Steve Sidwell alongside me here to take in the game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. This was a good 1-0 win for Spurs, wasn't it, against Villarreal? It's a winning return to the Champions League. Good result. What would you make of their performance, though? Yeah,
I mean, it's a fantastic result. The performance, I'd say they limped over the line. You know, if you look at the whole 90 minutes, the start showed great promise for Spurs. They was gifted a goal, a routine cross from Bergvall in the opening few minutes. The Villarreal goalkeeper, Junior, routine save, somehow has fumbled it and it's got into the back of the net. That then give Spurs so much confidence. They was like a pack of wild dogs, literally trying to hunt the ball down, out of possession, trying to, you know, set the tone, set the energy, set the pace of the game. For 30 minutes, they blew me away, to be fair, in and out of possession. They played some really good football, created a few chances, but then for the next hour, it just got sort of flat and the pace just really was subdued. Whether they just tired themselves out. It didn't help in the second half when Vicario gave away a really sloppy pass early on in his own 18-yard box. That just gave Villarreal a bit more confidence. And for some reason, Spurs just couldn't get into the rhythm, couldn't find their way back into the game. But like I say, it's 3 points. It's another clean sheet for Tottenham. And yeah, it's a great start for them in the Champions League with their campaign.
You have to talk about the Spurs mentality because that's often what they're criticised for, isn't it? But there might have been a time in recent weeks, recent months even, where Spurs would have let that lead slip.
Yeah, and they was lucky towards the end. There was a few times where Villarreal got confidence. They could see there was balls in behind Spurs, in behind the back line. Van was very lucky not to give away a penalty, give away a foul just outside the box, was cautioned. Pepe nearly scored from that, just flashed past the post. So with Spurs, I think there just needs to be that mentality where they go, right, we're winning 1-0. We don't have to win this 2 or 3-0. Not in the Champions League. Get some leaders out there. Don't put all your attacking players out there. You have to go and create chances. I know the Spurs fans want that, but they'll also want a 1-0 victory, which again they got only just. They just limped over the line tonight, but still take nothing away from it. A win is a win. 3 points on the board.
A win is a win. Joint top of the Champions League table as well, after one game. The way Thomas Frank set up his side tonight, are we starting to see his vision come to life, do you feel?
Yes, very much so. I mean, again, very aggressive out of possession where the front three were trying to hunt the ball down, trying to win it as high up the pitch as possible. That left the two centre-halves exposed on their own halfway line. And when they go and win the ball, when they win it high, like they've done at Man City, when they sort of went, that's how they played. You win the ball high, you've got obviously a chance of scoring a goal. What it does do, though, it does leave you susceptible to an attack, and especially a counter-attack. And I know they got Van de Ven, one of the quickest players the Premier League has ever seen. But if you get around that and you've got a good quality of players, they can create chances. Villarreal did do that, but for all their efforts, they didn't really make any efforts on target.
To play devil's advocate, will there be any concerns about the fact that they needed an own goal to get over the line tonight? They weren't able to create a chance of their own.
No, I wouldn't. You know, they done enough in that first half an hour. They certainly blew me away in terms of the way that I've watched them this season as well. But just their tenacity and their confidence, the way they was going about trying to win the game. Then again, you know, there's that mentality side to it. So, look, Thomas Frank will be absolutely delighted. I love the way he is. He's always confident. He'll go in that dressing room and say, lads, look, he'll tell them the truth. Look, we've just got over that. We deserve the win. You know, Villarreal didn't have enough quality to really threaten us and have that final touch in the final third. But you know, there are some movement for improvement.
Room for improvement. A key performance. Bergvall. How did he get on tonight?
I thought he was sensational.
He was good, wasn't he?
I thought he was absolutely sensational. The energy that he had, him and Pepe Sarr in the middle. Again, they was back up that front three. So if anything did bypass them, they was there again to win the ball in that middle third to then to do a counter attack. But Bergvall, I think they relied on him so much last year. Him and Archie Gray, the two youngsters in the squad. I thought he was sensational tonight. Again, and you know, he's learning on the job and he's obviously getting more and more experience, but he needs that guidance from a few sort of senior players around him to sort of make it a bit more easier for him.
Back-to-back wins now for Spurs. Next up is Brighton. They're going down to the south coast, so they will hope that they can use this momentum from, playing in Europe to hopefully continue that in the Premier League. Yeah,
well, they'll be scarred from that. When I was there, I covered the game for Sky last season. There, they was 2-0 up at half-time, ended up losing the game 3-2. So that will be playing in their mind. But the way that they're going at the moment, what a start they've had under Thomas Frank, and they can only be confident with not only defensively keeping the clean sheets and looking solid, but also going forward, they look like they can score goals all over the park.
There's lots for fans to be happy about as a Spurs fan.
There is. Well, considering last season, finishing 17th, yes, they won a trophy. They'll have to have all the aspirations to get into Europe this season. Will top four be too much for a stretch for them? They need momentum going, and then we'll see how they go. Injuries have been apart from last season. If they keep that on track, they've got a chance of having a great season.
Brilliant. Steve, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for watching the game. We'll hopefully see you soon here on Sky Sports News. Yeah, so a big win there for Tottenham Hotspur. Also, Arsenal made a winning start and again underlined their strength in depth. Gabriel Martinelli and Leandro Trossard came off the bench to score as Arsenal beat Athletic Club 2-0. Athletic Club back in the competition for the first time in a decade proved stubborn opposition, though. Arsenal didn't make the breakthrough until the 72nd minute, and it was from Martinelli, who scored just 36 seconds after coming on. Trossard added the second in the 87th minute.
Yes, what an amazing place to play football. I must say, one of the best atmospheres that I've played. A really tough match. We knew that the first 20-25 minutes it was going to be really tough, especially the way they play, so intense, a lot of direct play, a lot of duels. And I think after that we started to grow throughout the game, and the second half we were much more fluent, dominant, and looked much more of a threat. And at the end, the finishers, they made the impact for us to win the game, and overall very happy.
It seemed the players really, gathered around Gabby when he scored. Gabriel Jesus actually put on his Instagram, that he really thinks he deserves it, and that goal. What does it say about your team that they kind of go around a player like that when they have a moment so good?
Well, that's the spirit. That's why I really enjoy every single day working with them and being part of this team, because the way they look after each other is genuine, and they really want the best for each other, and they recognize someone that works every single day in the manner that Gabby does, and you can go through struggles or through moments, and recognizing that and having that capacity to connect with him, I think it would mean a lot to him.